So Ohio's decided that it wants to move in the direction of Florida and restrict gender affirming care for adults. How um, how lovely! Ohio Governor Mike DeWine uh, announced proposals this month that transgender advocates say could block access to gender affirming care provided by independent clinics and general practitioners, leaving thousands of adults scrambling for treatment and facing health risks. Ashton Colby, 31, fears the clinic where he gets the testosterone he has taken since age 19 would no longer offer it. The transgender Columbus man believes he could eventually be treated by another provider that would meet the new requirements, but even a few months wait could leave Colby experiencing a menstrual cycle for the first time in many years. My mental health has been stressed, Colby said. These are feelings related to being transgender that I have not felt in years, but I'm thrown into feeling devastated by my experience as a trans person. DeWine announced that proposed rules amid a whirl of activity that could push Ohio further than most other states in controlling gender affirming care and make it just the second to set forth restrictions on adult care. He also signed an executive order to ban gender affirming surgery for minors, but vetoed a bill that would ban all gender affirming care for minors. One chamber of the state legislature has already overridden it, and the other is voting January 17th on whether to do so. It is a policy project that attempts to make it so onerous, so restrictive to get care that people are functionally unable to do so, said Kellen Baker, executive director of the Whiteman Walker Institute, a Washington-based organization focused on the health of LGBTQ plus people. Policies focused on care for adults come in draft administrative rules released this month by the Ohio Department of Health and the state's Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. They would require psychologists, endocrinologists, and medical ethicists to have roles in creating facility-wide gender-affirming care plans for patients of all ages. Patients under 21 would have to receive at least 6 months of mental health counseling before starting gender-affirming medication or surgery. Providers would be barred from referring minors to treatment elsewhere, such as clinics in other states. When he announced the measure, DeWine said they would ensure safe treatment and make it impossible to operate fly-by-night clinics. Okay, so, don't trust anti-trans activists when they tell you it's for the children. It's for the children. The state is trying to protect the children. These are medical practices we're not used to, so we have to protect the health and well-being of the children. Oh, the children are in danger. They don't care about that. I mean, the children are not in danger. Yeah. Gender affirming care for children is not dangerous. Having said that, they're not going to stop at children because that's not what they care about. That's just the rhetoric they're using. I mean, really, they want to abolish trans people. They want to ban all trans people. But you can't ban trans people in the sense of, you can't prevent someone from knowing in their heart of hearts that they're trans. But you can prevent them, even adults, from seeking gender affirming care and helping them that would allow them to live their best life as a trans person. Which is, I mean, people have been calling it a genocidal policy because it will lead to the deaths of many trans people. Gender affirming care it's a lifesaver. It's a lifesaver. Many trans people wouldn't have been alive if they hadn't gotten that care. If that care is deprived of them, it's much more likely that they will not remain alive. At the very least, it'll mess up their, the hormonal balance in their body, which will cause all kinds of, health issues. Asking them to get 6 months of counseling. Yeah, it's just another way to postpone it because there was someone, I forget where this was, but I think it was in Missouri, but don't quote me on that. who was claiming that, oh, the only people who can get gender affirming care are the ones who don't have any other mental health struggles and/or autism. So if you're a trans man or trans woman, and you have a little autism or you have a little bit of depression or anxiety or something, no care for you. Sorry, that's an extenuating circumstance that prevents you from making rational decisions. So we can't give you that care. Sorry. Um, so this is why we need to fight this, because they're not going to stop at children. That these people aren't going to stop until they try to get gender affirming care just written off across the board. They don't want anyone to have gender affirming care. Anyone who has a gender affirming care is to them a threat to the power structure. It's a threat to the reigning, hierarchies. It's a threat to the reigning ideology. And so we have to fight them tooth and nail, or is it tooth and claw? This has to stop. This has to stop, because they're not going to stop. Anti-trans activists are not going to stop. And I'm really worried. I think this is probably likely. More and more states are going to go in the direction of restricting care, even for adults. So, in short, get out there, write to your representatives, write to your congresspeople, go to protests, spread the words, educate people. Trans rights are being threatened on a daily basis around the world. And we need to do everything we can to fight for our trans comrades out there.